Hey guys, this is JPR with a new tutorial. Today I'll be talking about looping animations with the Mograph module. Previously I had talked about doing it in another tutorial how to do it with the module, but just me liking having different ways to do things, I just would like to show you different variations of doing things because sometimes it will be more, it'd be a lot easier to do it in some scenarios or the other way in other scenarios. Just sometimes we have things set up different ways and one solution calls to be better in that scenario. Um, so in this example, if I press play, we see that they're doing all the same animation, but they're doing it at different times. Um, it's a very simple animation, so you can have a lot more complicated things happening. Maybe they could be flowers they animated to move in a very subtle way, and you don't want them to be repeated. So this is a good way to repeat that or use your animation, but to offset it so it looks like they're not the same animation. So it's really about utilizing this inheritance effector. The thing about the inheritance effector is that it only utilizes the transform attributes. It doesn't utilize the any of these attributes. So it's just only position, scale, and rotation. So that's where it's limited. But I'm sure there's workarounds to make sure it uses other attributes. But in this tutorial, it's just only these transform attributes. So let's get into new scene. How I did this. We're gonna have a cube for the animation. We're just gonna quickly animate it. A very simple animation. So at 0 frame, it will be at 0 on the y-axis, be 200 on the 200. And then at frame 20, we'll go back to 0. So here's our simple animation. We're going to turn this off, make a new cube, make a cloner, and put the cube in the cloner. Make a grid array. We're gonna have it at 1 on the y-axis, 1000 here, and 0 here, and 1000 here. So yeah, here's our grid, and now we're gonna make an inheritance effector to reference the animation cube. So if we go in the Effectors tab, we could drag in the animation to the object slot, and now we press play. We see that it does the animation. But we see that it's not offsetted or looping. So what we want to do in this drop-down menu, we want it to turn it to animation. Now we play it again. If you notice that our animation is actually slower, and it's because this attribute right here, it's pretty much stretching our animation from 0 to 90 instead of 0 to 20. So let's just go to 20 here. And then if you play it, you see that it is animating appropriately, but it's not looping or offsetted. So if we hit this loop animation Boolean, we play it and it's looping, which is what we want. But now we have to offset it. So in the step gap, we are able to offset the animation. But this isn't traditionally it's not going to give it a random value. It's just going to go one after another. So if you notice here, it goes one after another. So it plays it here, 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 here. And it's offsetted, but not to my complete liking. I like to, maybe the next one, I just like it very random, and this is more of a step. So I try to figure out a way to work around that, and the only solution I could come up quickly was using the random effector and moving around the position of these clones. So we'll just do it 1000 and 1000. So we see here, if we play it, they're all offsetted, and we don't notice that one starts after another. But sometimes you would want the animation to already be starting when it's playing, because when we see one go, another go, we actually, if we want them all animating at the very beginning, we can actually move this to a negative value. So if we go -60 and -40, they'll all now be animating from the start. And maybe if you do it with an around effector to move around the position, you might have some protruding objects. And a quick way to fix that is you will use the Mograph Selection to move these out of the way. So if you select this, have this selected, make a plane effector, drag in the Mograph Selection here, and then we're able to move that that clone individually. So you could do that with another one to move it so they're not protruding. But hopefully you guys find this example useful. I certainly do, just getting things done quicker. That's always my objective, to get things done quicker, but in a very controlled way. So yeah, until the next tutorial, I will see you guys then.